This is Admiral Petrarch, Commanding Officer of the GTD Aquitaine. For those squadrons joining us here in Vega, welcome aboard. With a complement of 150 combat spacecraft, the Aquitaine serves as flagship of the GTVA 3rd Fleet based in the Capella system. You join an elite crew of 10,000, the finest officers and enlisted personnel serving the Alliance today. After 18 months of fighting, Admiral Bosch's Neo-Terran front has become the most significant threat to regional security since the Great War ended 32 years ago. The NTF demands the independence of their systems and the revocation of the Beta Aquilae Convention, or BATAC. The BATAC Treaty centralized power of the GTVA as the supreme authority in Terran Vasudan space. Integral to NTF ideology is Bosch's vision of Neo-Terra. A utopian society where the lost grandeur of Earth will be restored. Bosch and his followers oppose any alliance with the Vasudans as a threat to the future of the human race. The rebels are entrenched in Polaris, Regulus, and Sirius. But before we hit these strongholds, we must secure Epsilon Pegasi, Alpha Centauri, and Deneb. These contested systems are now the focal point of Allied operations. Allied Command has ordered the Aquitaine into the Deneb system. There, we will reinforce the 13th Vasudan Battle Group, led by the GVD Samtic. Both the NTF and the GTVA have sustained heavy casualties in the battle for Deneb. In the past 72 hours, we have lost the GVC Andromeda, the GTC Trafalgar, and over 15 fighter wings. Command anticipates the arrival of the Aquitaine and the Samtic will shift the battle for Deneb in our favor and force the NTF to withdraw to Sirius.
This is Captain Lukakis, Squadron Leader of the 53rd Hammerheads. At 0320 hours, the Aquitaine entered the Deneb system. Admiral Petrarch launched fighter and bomber wings as part of an all-out attack against NTF positions throughout the system. He has kept the Hammerheads on standby until now. A situation is developing near the inhabited planet of Cygnus Prime. We have over 100,000 Vasudan refugees fleeing their colonies in transports. Allied ships are rescuing the Vasudans as quickly as possible, though the logistics of this operation leave many refugees still vulnerable to rebel attack. At 0545, we received a distress signal from a refugee convoy 900 clicks, or kilometers, from the outer orbit of Cygnus Prime. The Vasudans responded with a wing of Serapis fighters, designated Epsilon, which have just called in for reinforcements. Alpha Wing, you're going in. Because these transports do not have jump drives, you must protect the convoy until a recovery ship arrives. With all warships engaged and other convoys in dire need of protection, we do not know when a craft will become available. Command will keep you updated and send in reinforcements as needed.
Alpha 2 here. I have a visual on the convoy, 1,500 meters dead ahead. The escort wing is down 2 fighters. Iota transports. This is Alpha Wing of the 53rd Hammerheads, GTD Aquitaine. We have orders to protect your convoy. What's your status? Over.
Alpha Wing, we have lost 3 transports in the rebel attack. The surviving vessels have sustained moderate damage. We anticipate the rebels will return in greater force.
Hang in there, Iota. Command will send a recovery craft as soon as possible. All right, Alpha. Let's get to work. We must defend these transports until a recovery ship arrives. Sensors picking up incoming hostiles. A wing of Hercs closing in.
Alpha 1 and 2 intercept those fighters. We will defend the transports.
Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration. Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration.
Reading hostile indicators.
We have transmitted your coordinates to the GVD Samtic. The vessel should be exiting subspace momentarily.
Reading. Command, this is the GVD Samtic. We have arrived at the designated coordinates.
The rebels are retreating. They broke off their attack. The NTCV Belisarius, a Deimos-class corvette, has run our blockade of the Sirius jump node. We are now tracking the vessel through subspace. We have vectored its course to your immediate vicinity.
Acknowledged, Command. We will intercept the target.
Incoming jump signature. It's the Belisarius.
Gunnery control, power up photon beam cannons. Commence plasma core insertion.
All units stand clear of the Samtic and Belisarius.
Belisarius, this is the GVD Samtic. You are ordered to power down and surrender.
Negative, Vasudin. The NTF is the only legitimate authority in this system.
Surrender or be destroyed, Belisarius. This is your final warning.
Your posturing insults us both, Vasudin. I will not give up my ship.
As you wish. Gunnery control, open fire.
Belisarius objective has been neutralized.
Now deploying wings Zeta and Theta. You are relieved of your escort, Alpha Wing.
Mission accomplished, Alpha. Return to base. Well done, pilots.
Iota, you are cleared for docking.
Good work, pilot. You held off the rebel attack and saved both Vasudin transports from destruction. Your squad mates and I all agree you'll make a fine addition to the 53rd Hammerheads. Command reports that 75% of the refugees have been recovered with few casualties. The remaining 25% are under Allied protection and will be rescued shortly. We've also won major victories against the NTF. The NTD Jacobus and the NTC Hengst have been destroyed, and our blockades of the Alpha Centauri and Sirius jump nodes has isolated the rebel fleet. Furthermore, 600,000 ground troops will soon land on the surface of Cygnus Prime in our effort to retake the planet. Prepare for your next mission, pilot. The battle for Deneb is not over yet. Command has ordered the 53rd Hammerheads to secure an NTF depot in the Deneb asteroid belt. 6 sentry guns are positioned around the depot, and rebel freighters are now moving the cargo out of the area. The NTF has gone through a lot of trouble to hide these materials. Alpha 1, your mission is to seek and destroy all targets of opportunity, including freighters, cargo, and sentry guns. Beta Wing will scan the cargo. Recon sighted a wing of Lokis guarding the depot, so prioritize these bandits. Do not underestimate the importance of this mission, pilot. A depot raid won't win you any medals, but it can be just as vital as taking down a cruiser or corvette. We must sever rebel supply lines if we want to achieve a decisive victory.
Okay, Alpha Wing, let's take out the fighters and freighters. Beta will scan the cargo. Watch those sentry guns. Beta Wing, target cargo units and closing scan. Optimal distance is 150 meters. Alpha 1 and Alpha 3, you target the fighters. Stay focused on those locations.
Command, we got a problem here. We can't scan the cargo.
Run a diagnostic, Beta. Are your sensors malfunctioning?
Negative. There's some kind of shielding on these units. Our sensor can't penetrate.
Acknowledge, Beta. Abort the scan and engage the enemy.
What about recovery out?
Negative, Beta. Command will not risk recovery in that asteroid belt.
Up. Enemy wing closing in. We're facing multiple bandits here. That cargo must be vital.
Incoming!
Show us how it's done, sir.
We have secured the depot, Command. All bandits have been neutralized. Alpha and Beta, destroy the cargo units.
Hold on, Alpha. Long-range sensors are picking up another hostile target 3 kilometers from your position.
I'm reading nothing here, Command.
We're detecting a faint EM signature from one of the asteroids. Transmitting coordinates now.
I'm still not getting a clear reading. There's too much interference.
There should be a flashing red blip on the radar screen of your HUD. Maneuver your fighter until this blip is centered in the radar. This will point you in the right direction.
It's a large asteroid, Command, with some kind of structure built into the surface.
Let's take a closer look. Proceed with caution, pilots.
It must be a rebel installation.
We're scrambling bomber wings now. Destroy that base, pilots.
Delta Wing now in position. Command, I'm picking up incoming hostiles.
Engage and destroy those fighters. We need to clear a path for Delta Wing.
This is Admiral Bosch of the Neo-Terran Front. Allied fighters, break off your attack.
Command, the rebel leader is on that base.
Disregard that transmission, Alpha. Admiral Bosch is in the Polaris system. This must be a decoy.
If you destroy this installation, you sign the death warrant of our race. I demand unfettered access to the Sirius jump node.
There will be no negotiations, Bosch.
Listen to me. If my safety is guaranteed, I'll withdraw my forces from the net.
Pilots, destroy that installation. You have your orders. Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration.
Bandit on your tail.
Hull integrity failing. Get me out of here, Command.
That's a confirmed kill. The asteroid is breaking apart, Command. All hostile fighters have been neutralized, Command.
That's not an installation. Take the from that warship. Do not let them escape.
There's no time, Command. The vessel is powering up its subspace drive.
Bosch and his warship have jumped. This mission is over, Alpha. Return to base.
Command has issued no official explanation for Admiral Bosch's presence in the Deneb system. The hidden base and the shielded cargo units only compound the mystery of the Admiral's agenda. Under the circumstances, there was nothing you could have done to stop the escape of Bosch's command frigate, designated the NTF Iceni. Intelligence has tracked Admiral Bosch's command frigate, the NTF Iceni, through subspace. We have vectored its course to the Sirius jump node. The 53rd is being scrambled to seek and destroy the Iceni before it escapes Deneb. We have pre-assigned your loadout, and your fighters are now standing by. Report to the flight deck pronto.
Engage full burners and intercept the Iceni. They are 2 kilometers from the Sirius jump node.
Command, we're 5 clicks from that Corvette. Those coordinates you gave us were bogus. We don't stand a chance of catching that ship.
You have your orders, pilot.
Command, where's the blockade? Why isn't the Alliance guarding this node?
Our line of defense has been reprioritized for engagements elsewhere in the system.
I regret
your efforts to intercept us have failed, pilots. Would be well advised to question the wisdom of your leaders. Alpha, engage subspace drive.
The Iceni has jumped. I repeat, the Iceni has jumped.
Acknowledged, pilot.
Request a status brief, Command. What the hell is going on here?
You're out of line, pilot.
Out of line? I don't think so. We're risking our lives out here. We deserve a straight answer.
You can discuss this at your debriefing. We now have reports that rebel vessels are heading for the jump node. Stand by for mission update. Command out.
Damn it! Command let Bosch escape.
What are you talking about?
They pulled the blockade. They gave us the wrong coordinates. There's no other explanation.
Why? Why would they let him go?
You tell me, pilot. I'm informed on a need-to-know basis.
Stand down. We're on your side here.
Why did we attack the Iceni? Why did we destroy that cargo? I can live with being a pawn if the game makes sense.
Inbound freighters with Loki escort. These targets escape the asteroid depot. Destroy those ships before they reach the node.
Beta Wing here. Target acquired and closing in. Check your six.
Cruisers have jumped in. The NTC Glorious and the NTC Impervious. They are heading for the node. Eliminate the fighter escort pilots. We'll deploy the Samtic to handle the cruisers. Those cruisers have anti-fighter beams with an effective range of 1,500 meters. Lure the escort away from the cruisers before you engage.
On your six! On your six! Cover me! Cover me!
Admiral Bosch's command frigate reached the Sirius jump node. I have received no explanation either on or off the record for what happened out there. I assume we'll be informed on a need-to-know basis. Good job neutralizing those fighters and freighters. You've served the 53rd Hammerheads well. Your performance in this last mission proves you have what it takes to be an ace pilot. I've recommended your transfer to the 107th Ravens. They lost many good officers in Deneb, and they could use someone with your talents. They're a top-notch unit. I know you'll make us proud. Good luck with your new assignment, pilot. Command has ordered the Aquitaine to return to the Capella system. Admiral Petrarch will address the crew at 0630.
Welcome to the 107th Ravens, pilot. I'm Lieutenant Samsa, squadron leader. As you know, the Aquitaine is now en route to the Gamma Draconis system. The details of the situation there have been classified at the highest level, so I'm as much in the dark as you are. The Admiral will brief the crew when we reach 3rd Fleet headquarters in Capella. The 107th is a heavy assault squadron, so our fighter of choice is the Hercules Mark II. Implementing advances in fusion drive technology, the Mark II improves the assault fighter's speed and maneuverability without sacrificing loadout. The Herc has only 2 missile banks, but its ordnance capacity is greater than the Myrmidons. The original Herc won the Great War, so we're proud to carry on the tradition. I recommend that you review the Herc 2 training modules before the Aquitaine arrives in Capella. These modules review advanced tactics, such as countermeasures and energy management. The Herc 2 is slower than the Myrmidon you've been flying with the 53rd, so learn how to evade missiles and equalize shields. These skills will help you push your fighter to the limits. Master them, and the life you save may be your own. According to your file, you are now authorized to use the GTW-5A Prometheus R, the GTM-19 Harpoon, and the GTM-4 Hornet missile. The Prometheus R is a retrofit of a cannon developed during the Great War. After the Alliance lost contact with Earth, we lacked materials required for mass production, so engineers developed this retrofit version. The Prometheus packs a bigger wallop than the Subak HL-7, but it will drain your power reserves with extended use. The Harpoon and the Hornet are both aspect-seeking missiles. While the Harpoon fires individual warheads, the Hornet launches a swarm of 4 projectiles, 8 if you're in double-fire mode. The training modules cover the proper technique for firing aspect-seeking missiles, so be sure to review that section carefully. That's all for now, pilot. The Aquitaine will arrive in Capella in 4 hours.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-107M, Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with communication systems, countermeasures, and aspect-seeking missiles. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training.
Welcome to Module TSM-107M, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. Let's begin with messaging. For Class A qualification, you learned how to call in a support ship to rearm and repair subsystems. Now, we'll show you how to give orders to pilots under your command. Our target for this simulation will be an Argo-class transport. Target the transport. Use your hostile targeting control. Good. Now you'll call in your reinforcements. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. Select reinforcements. Then, select the wing you want to call in. Epsilon wing is your only option, so hit the 1 key. Well done. Confirm that you still have the transport targeted. Now have Epsilon Wing destroy the transport. Press the communications key to bring up your messaging box again. Select 2 to transmit your orders to a specific wing. Then hit 1 to choose Epsilon Wing. By selecting Epsilon Wing, you are sending your orders to that wing only. Now, press the 1 key, and Epsilon will destroy your target.
Roger that, sir. Engaging your target.
Well done, pilot. Let's try this again. Order Epsilon Wing to destroy Transport 2. Do you remember your previous instruction? If not, consult the directives list.
Yes, sir. We'll take him down.
Good work. Be aware that fighter wings are less effective against larger targets. Bombers or vessels with beam turrets are usually required to destroy warships larger than cruiser class. Also note that reinforcements are not always available, and you will have authorization to issue orders only to specific wings and ships. Now, let's order Epsilon Wing to depart. Press the communications key to bring up the messaging window. Select 2 for Wing and 1 for Epsilon. Finally, press 0 for depart.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Excellent work. As you gain experience in combat, using the communications interface will become second nature. All right, pilot, now it's time to learn about countermeasures. When you launch a countermeasure, you present a new target for pursuing missiles. In theory, the missile should hit the countermeasure instead of ripping a hole through your hull. You need to use countermeasures to survive in battle, but you'll soon learn this tactic does not always work. For this exercise, we'll bring in a Leviathan-class cruiser. The cruiser will now launch missiles at you. Press the countermeasures key to evade the missiles. Immediately increase your forward velocity to maximum and move away from the pursuing missiles. Punch your afterburners to gain that extra burst of speed. A yellow triangle will appear on your HUD, indicating the vector of the missile's approach. Try to keep this indicator in the 3 or 9 o'clock position. When the missile is nearly upon you, launch the countermeasure. Listen to the beeping sound of the missile lock to gauge the distance of the missile. The quicker the beeps, the closer the missile. While launching countermeasures, turn your fighter hard in sharp movements. This will also help throw the missile off your trail. If you evade the missile, an indicator will display in the upper portion of your targeting reticle. This will alert you to the fact that you successfully avoided the projectile. The number of countermeasures remaining is indicated on your HUD below the weapons display. If you run out of countermeasures, call in the support ship to reload. That's enough for evading missiles. Now, let's practice firing them. Your Hercules Mark II heavy assault fighter is armed with 2 banks of harpoons. Unlike heat seekers like the Rockeye, you must acquire a lock on your target in order for an aspect seeker to home. However, the aspect seeker is well worth the effort because its homing ability is much stronger. If a heat seeker loses track of its target, chances are it will not reacquire lock. Aspect seekers, on the other hand, will track their targets until they detonate. Transport 3 is now entering. Let's take this opportunity to learn another targeting control. You have a reticle targeting control that will acquire the nearest object inside your reticle. Maneuver your fighter so that my ship is centered on your HUD. Good. Now use the reticle targeting control to target my fighter. Well done. Now, target Transport 3 using the reticle targeting control. Excellent. Now, let's see how you do with those harpoons. Notice the red indicator moving towards your target. That's the aspect triangle. Once it is moved onto your target, you'll see the lock indicator. This means your harpoons are locked and ready to fire. Now, fire one harpoon at the freighter. Note how fast the harpoon moves. This warhead delivers quite a punch. A round of harpoons can be fired every 3 seconds. Fire another round and note the countdown timer in your weapons gauge. The harpoon is almost useless if fired before lock has been acquired. That's a major distinction between the harpoon and the Rockeye. Now, unload your harpoons until you've destroyed Transport 3. Excellent job. Let's see how you do against moving targets. In order to gain aspect lock on a moving target, you must keep the target's lock box in a fixed position inside your HUD reticle. We'll now bring in the fighter drones. When the first drone enters, target it and acquire lock. Try to keep the target indicator in the center of your HUD reticle. Once you have acquired lock, fire a harpoon to destroy the drone. These drones will not be using well done. All aspect seekers function this way, from the Hornet missile to the Helios torpedo. In general, the larger and more powerful the warhead, the longer it will take to acquire lock and countdown between volleys. Now, let's have you face a real challenge. Multiple wings will appear simultaneously. Destroy them all. You must be in range of your target before you can gain aspect lock. Hit your burners to intercept the drones. TSM-107M. Engage your subspace drive to end this simulation.
Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-107M Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. You are advised to proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM-107SE, covering shield management and the energy transfer system. Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-107SE, Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with shield management and the energy transfer system. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training.
Welcome to Module TSM-107SE, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. First, let's take a look at the gauges and controls for your shield system. The Alliance acquired shielding technology from the Shivans during the Great War. Shield systems have been standard on Terran Vasudan fighters and bombers for over 30 years. Your shield system generates an energy shell that protects the hull of your ship from primary fire and missile blasts. As they absorb damage, your shields will weaken. However, your fighter will automatically regenerate its shields over time. Your shield integrity gauge is located in the lower right of your HUD. This gauge is now flashing. Your shield is divided into 4 quadrants. Each quadrant can withstand limited damage. When a shield quadrant sustains damage, the corresponding section of your shield integrity gauge will flash. Observe. Note the front of your shield is flashing as if you've taken a hit. Observe how the gauge changes as your shield sustains more damage. When a shield quadrant has been destroyed, all damage on that quadrant will impact the hull of your fighter. Your shields will regenerate themselves automatically. Let's accelerate this process to save time. Now observe as the front quadrant of your shield repairs itself to full strength. Your shield is now fully recharged. Effective shield management can mean the difference between life and death. The simplest way to manage your shield is the Equalize Quadrants function. I have damaged your front quadrant again. Use your Equalize Quadrants function to repair your shields. Well done. Your front section has been partially recharged. This shield energy came from your other 3 quadrants. Practice this function often. I'm now going to reduce most of your shield strength. Note that 3 of your 4 quadrants are now near 0 power. With your shield management controls, you can maximize shield strength in a specific quadrant. First, maximize the strength in your front quadrant. Well done. Note that your front quadrant is at full strength, while the other quadrants have been drained. Maximizing your front shield quadrant is especially useful when you're attacking the turret of a large ship. Now I want you to maximize your rear shield quadrant. If you're pursuing an important objective and are being attacked from the rear, maximizing your rear shield quadrant can deflect the gunfire of your pursuer. Now, equalize quadrants again to distribute shield energy evenly around your ship. We will conclude this module with an overview of your Energy Transfer System, or ETS. In the lower right of your HUD are 3 bar gauges labeled G for guns, S for shields, and E for engines. You can use your ETS controls to augment or diminish the energy allocated to each of these 3 systems. First, let's increase your weapon's energy allocation. Observe that as you divert power to weapons, the energy levels for shields and engines drop. The more energy diverted to weapons, the faster your primaries will recharge. Your weapons will not inflict greater damage at higher ETS levels. High-energy cannons, such as the Prometheus, can quickly deplete your weapon reserves. If you require a sustained barrage of gunfire, diverting energy to primaries may be necessary. Now, let's increase your shield allocation. The higher your ETS setting for shields, the faster they'll recharge. Increasing your shield allocation may be critical in combat situations, such as stopping to rearm your fighter or flying through heavy flak. Now, divert more power to your engines. Increasing power to engines will improve your maximum speed by up to 30%, depending on the fighter's reactor capacity. Your afterburners will also recharge faster, enabling more frequent bursts of speed. For a slower fighter like the Hercules Mark II, increasing engine power may be necessary to chase down more maneuverable targets or cover large distances quickly. Well done. This concludes Module TSM-107-SE. Engage your subspace drive to end this simulation.
Congratulations! You have successfully completed TSM-107-SE Advanced Qualification for the Hercules Mark II Heavy Assault Fighter.
To the officers and crew of the GTD Aquitaine, this is Admiral Petrarch. At 0115 hours, we received a transmission from 3rd Fleet Headquarters. A Sheevan cruiser and 3 fighter wings ambushed and destroyed the GTC Vigilant as it patrolled the Gamma Draconis jump node in the Capella system. Command deployed the GTD Carthage and GDC Dashor, though these vessels neutralized the immediate threat. All Allied units are now in a state of enhanced vigilance. Command has ordered the Aquitaine to spearhead the operation in Gamma Draconis as we investigate the origin and extent of this incursion. Gamma Draconis is a remote, uninhabited system discovered shortly before the outbreak of the Great War. The system has no planets, no viable resources. GTSC Erickson visited the system 15 years ago and reported nothing out of the ordinary. Recon flights in Gamma Draconis detected activity near an uncharted jump node. Closer examination has revealed this node is not a natural phenomenon, but a massive subspace portal of unknown origin. We do not know why the Erickson failed to detect the portal when it last visited the system. This device may have been inactive and therefore invisible to long-range sensors, or it may be of recent construction. The Sheevan vessels that destroyed the Vigilant were not of any class encountered in the Great War. The light cruiser, designated Rakshasa, and the fighters designated Mara have been added to your onboard database. This is our first contact with this species in over 3 decades. Our objectives are clear. We must secure Gamma Draconis or face annihilation a second time.
This is Lieutenant Samza, squadron leader of the 107th Ravens. Here's the situation. The GTD Aquitaine entered Gamma Draconis at 1640. The flagship will defend the Capella node as we advance to secure the system. Recon discovered a Sheevan supply depot near the subspace portal, and this will be our target. Command believes the Sheevans are preparing for a more aggressive attack on Capella. The SC Behemoth, a Rakshasa-class cruiser, guards the depot with a wing of Mara fighters. Enemy freighters are entering the system, dropping their cargo and departing through the portal. Your mission, pilot, is to execute a clean sweep of the area. Your primary target will be the Mara fighters. Once the escorts are down, destroy the Behemoth and any freighters in the vicinity. You'll need to hold down the fort until we deploy the Carthage and Dashur. After you secure the area, we'll send Wings Delta and Epsilon to relieve you.
Command, this is Alpha-2. We're in. I've got a visual on the subspace portal.
How many hostiles in sensor range?
One wing of Mara's closing in fast. The Behemoth is 2.5 clicks out. 2 freighters and a half dozen cargo units are in the depot area.
Destroy those fighters. The Shivas will send reinforcements, so let's secure this area as quickly as possible.
Check your 6. The Mara's are too fast. I can't get a lock. I've never seen anything like it. And these fighters are unbelievable.
Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration. Excellent work, pilot. Behemoth objective neutralized.
Man, systems are blown. I need a repair.
Area secure, Command. Standing by for further orders.
Hold your position, pilots. We are now deploying the Carthage and the Dashur.
Command, we've got 4 or 5 hostile wings coming through the portal. We've got a new fighter class here, designation Astaroth. Where's the Carthage? We need reinforcements ASAP, Command!
Take evasive action, pilots. Help is on the way.
There's too many of them! Send in the Carthage or get us out of here!
The Carthage and Darshore will emerge from subspace momentarily. Stand by.
hostiles have been neutralized. Now deploying Delta and Epsilon Wing. Alpha, you may return to base.
Delta Wing, now in position.
Epsilon Wing standing by. Transmit orders.
You survived your first sortie against the Shivans. Though we had only a small opposing force to contend with, survival is half the battle. The COs of both the Carthage and Dashore commend our squadron for the outstanding cover we provided. The Shivan Kane cruiser and its complement of fighters might have destroyed these vessels had we not intervened. Well done, pilot. A joint Terran-Vasudin task force under the direction of Dr. Mina Hargrove is now studying the subspace portal. We expect a preliminary report in a few hours. For preserving the systems of the Galactic Terran-Vasudin Alliance from Shivan invasion, you are hereby awarded the Allied Defense Citation.
With the Gamma Draconis system secure,